Yep, Koro-sensei says, removing his stethoscope. Just as I thought. Why, and it seems to me like you've got a case of love butterflies. Love butterflies? I ask, confused. He means you're in love, kid, says the blonde woman. In love? No way. I'm too young for that kind of thing. I wave off, but after having my little laugh session and looking at her face, I discover she's serious. Deadly serious. But that's impossible. Although somewhere deep in my mind, in my heart, the pinging says that it's all too real. I'm going back to class. I stammer, rushing out at the teacher's lounge. My heart is beating so fast. I think I might be going insane. The bell rings, not even a minute after I step back into class. It's fine, I tell myself. I just need to get through this day and tomorrow. Then I'll have the weekend to sleep in and figure this thing out on my own, since my teacher has gone mad. I scoff, just thinking about it. Love? Please. When I earn my freedom? Maybe, but that won't happen for a while. I sigh at the sad truth coming from my lips. Can't have my cake and eat it too, right? What did you ask Koro-sensei? Isekai asked, saddling up beside me on the hill. Oh, you saw that? I crack a smile. I thought you were outside with Mahara. I was, he nods, but I came inside to ask Hayami and Kiba something. I nod. Oh, well, Koro-sensei said I'm in love. A smile creeps on my lips. That's pretty laughable because, come on now, me, in love? Those two words don't fit together. He really said that? Isokai's eyes widen. He looks around as if to make sure no one's listening. Then he leans in and asks, well, what's your type? My cheeks burn a little. My type? I repeat. He nods, brown eyes curious enough to shoot bullets. I think for a minute. What is my type? Then I grin because the person I'm about to describe does not exist. People like me. Karma? My expression sours into a grimace. Then a glare. No, not Akabane. I correct myself before I even have the chance to make the mistake. Okay, Isekai nods, somewhere off in his head. I thought I heard my name. Akabane, damn it. No, no one called you. He pouts as if I have a single care for it. He narrows his eyes as if trying to solve a math problem. No, more like a history. He excels at math and English and science and gym. It's history that stumps him most of the time. You know what, Ryan? I want you to meet me here at school later tonight. Ha! No. My smile evaporates immediately. He moves, or more like pushes Isekai aside and walks around my desk. He crouches to my height and whips out his phone. You sure? He slightly waves his phone up and down. My cheeks burn at the sight. I cover his screen with my hand as fast as I can. I look to see if anyone saw. Isekai's rubbing his arm where Akabane shoved him, and everyone else is either still in their small group or setting up for history class. Thankfully, Akabane puts his phone away. Fine, I hiss. He smiles. That's more like it. I should talk to you more often. He strides the few paces to Isekai and whispers something in his ear. Isekai glances at me, but only for half a second. Then his eyes are back on Akabane. Damn it, Akabane. This is torture. I growl while Isekai floats away and Akabane sits back down. Torture is fun, he sings, wagging a finger in the air. For the torturer, I whisper scream. Oh, don't pretend that you don't love our game. His eyes darken and his grin spreads as wide as I've ever seen it so far. Haven't I made it obvious? Have you got no shame? I'm now biting back a scream. He sighs. Here we go again. I go to spit something back, but Koro-sensei walks in just as I open my mouth, and I get cut off. Akabane grins like a madman, watching me try to contain myself. I give in and turn to face the front. You are late, Akabane sings, but doesn't sound happy about it at all. My thesis is proven correct when he steps under the street lamp, the yellow glow lighting up his face. His eyes narrow and an irk mark throbs on the side of his head. His smile is definitely angry, and my grin makes an appearance. I notice the bag he's wearing and want to question it, but don't. Instead, I ask, "Come on, crybaby, where are we going?" and stride past him, then stop just a few feet away to turn back and wait for him. You'll see. His smile returns to normal as Akabane Karma's smile can get, at least. I don't respond as he passes me and tugs my wrist, pulling me along for the trip. I gaze around the school grounds. I've never seen it at this time of night. I was always out digging up something for Asano or cramming for an exam since my first year. It's usually been both. I now realize the sad truth of my social life, that I have none. Akabane drags me about 1.5 miles away from our school building in the horrid hill. Ha, now there's a name. When we reach the main building, I'm holding myself up by my knees and hands. What has gotten into you? I ask, desperate for an answer. He pulls his bag to the front of him and pulls something out, then starts picking the lock to the front entrance. Don't you want to get back at Asano? He grunts between words, now lifting the slab of wood that's hinged every night for good measure with the same tiny stencil. He successfully opens the double doors and waddles in as if he hadn't just broken into his own school. I don't know what to think. I'm shocked, I'm confused, I'm excited. I feel everything and nothing at all. Nagisa and the others will meet up with us later. Right now, he says, dragging my hand and myself along with it until we reach the lunchroom. He lets go and opens his bag in between us. He pulls out 2 bottles of something that sounds a lot like spray paint. Oh, I understand now. What if we get caught? I ask. And didn't you say you'd leave Asano out of your schemes? That's where you're both right and wrong, little sheep. He boops my nose. I glare and dust off the excess of his skin. Elaborate. I huff, snatching a can from his hand and walking past him again. I shake it as he answers. Well, he takes in a breath, then lets it out. I never said which Asano.
He's never gonna make it. All the poor people he's forsaken.